In this video, we will cover the following topics. Many engineering labs and projects involve fitting a mathematical model or equation to experimental data. This analysis may be done to determine the effect of one variable on another. When dealing with linear relationships, the best method to draw the perfect line is to use linear regression. The theory behind linear regression will be explored in upper year statistics courses. At this point, it is sufficient to know the two methods of completing linear regression: trend lines, and regression analysis using the analysis toolpack. We'll start with trend lines. It is useful to have the equations of your lines of best fit on your graph, along with the line itself. After plotting the data onto the chart area and completing relevant formatting, the following steps allow for trend line addition. The first step is adding the trend line to the plot. To do this, right-click on any of the data points, then select Add Trend Line to bring up the toolbar on the right-hand side of the window and place a dotted trend line through your data. Under Trend Line Options, ensure that the trend line is linear. Excel will produce a default name for the trend line. However, you may specify a specific name in the custom dialog box under Trend Line Name. Check off the box beside Display Equation on Chart, then close the toolbar. The trend line equation that was added to your plot is likely overlapping your data points and your trend line. To move the equation, simply click and drag the equation such that it is located beside the trend line. You can also change the variables in the equation. Excel produces a default equation in the form of y equals mx plus b. In the example lab, we have plotted HRB versus HRI for the rubber ball. Change the variables in the equation by clicking within the equation and replacing y and x with the appropriate variables. Use the method of producing subscripts described earlier. Repeat the same procedure for adding a trend line to other data series on the plot. Ensure that both equations show an appropriate number of decimal places for the slope and intercept. These can be adjusted in the same manner as changing the variables. Another method of completing regression analysis is using the regression tool in the analysis toolpack within Excel. This tool completes rigorous statistical regression analysis on your data and generates a number of useful items such as residuals, standard error, and the coefficient of determination. These concepts will be explored in upper year statistics courses, but learning the tool can be done early. The first step is to launch the regression tool. To do this, click the Data tab, then click Data Analysis in the Analysis group on the right. A window with a list of analysis tools will appear. Select Regression and then click OK. Next, specify the data on which you wish to perform the regression analysis. Click the Collapse button beside the Input Y Range dialog box and select the Y-axis data. In the example lab, this is the bounce height, HB, followed by Enter. Then, click the Collapse button beside the Input X Range box and select the X-axis data, the initial height, HI, in the example lab, followed by Enter. Now you need to specify whether you included labels on your data and whether your relationship passes through the origin. To do this, check the Labels and Constant is 0 boxes. Note that Constant is 0 will force the regression line through 0, and you will not want this specified for all cases. Also, check the confidence level box, changing the level to 68%. Finally, specify where you wish the regression results to appear. In this case, we wish to have the results in a new sheet in our workbook and include the residuals plot along with the graph of the original data and fitted line. Make sure you have selected New Worksheet Ply, then type a descriptive title in the adjacent dialog box. Check off the residuals, residual plot, and line fit plot boxes, and click OK. A new worksheet with your title will then be added to your workbook, containing several tables, a residual plot, and a line fit plot. The residual plot indicates the adequacy of the line of best fit. If the line is of adequate fit, the residuals should be randomly distributed above and below the 0 line. A perfect fit requires that all residuals are 0. If there is a systematic pattern in the residuals, this correlation suggests that a higher order fit is necessary. The residual plot from this data should possess initial height, HI, on its horizontal axis, and residuals on its vertical axis. To format the line fit plot, Right-click on any of the predicted HB points and select Format Data Series to bring up a toolbar on the right side of the window. Under the Fill in Line section, Paint Can, change the line type to Solid Line. Then click the Marker section and drop down the Marker Options selections to change the marker type to None. Close the toolbar by pressing the X at the top right. The line fit plot should now display the data points along the line of best fit. To use the regression tool in Stat Plus for Mac, first, launch Stat Plus. Under the Statistics tab of the Stat Plus toolbar, choose Regression, then Linear Regression. Next, specify the data on which you wish to perform regression analysis. Note that the dependent variable refers to the variable on the vertical axis. Click the Collapse button beside the Dependent Variable dialog box and select the y-axis data. In our example, it's the bounce height, followed by Enter. Then click the Collapse button beside the Independent Variable dialog box and select the x-axis data, the initial height in the ball lab, followed by Enter. Specify whether you included labels on your data and whether your relationship passes through the origin. Also, specify the confidence level. Check the labels in the first row box at the bottom of the window. Then click the Advanced Options button and select the Residual Plots, Line Fit Plots, and Constant Intercept is 0 boxes. Select the Preferences button, then change the alpha value to 5%. Click OK. A new worksheet will appear containing the regression results. To move this worksheet to your original Excel file, copy and paste the entire worksheet. The keyboard shortcut for selection of the entire page is Command A into your Excel spreadsheet. To learn more about the regression output from the regression tool, take a look at the supplied written tutorial. Other common analysis of data includes finding the mean, median, and standard error. This can be easily completed using descriptive statistics in the Analysis Toolpack for PC and in Stat Plus for Mac. Using the Analysis Toolpack for PC, first, launch Descriptive Statistics. Do this by selecting the Data tab, then Data Analysis in the Analysis group, then select Descriptive Statistics. Next, we want to select the data series. Click on the input range and select the data for the sample from your worksheet. Finally, we need to set the analysis parameters and output location. To do this, check the box for Summary Statistics and use a 68% confidence level for the mean. Select an open area of the worksheet or a new worksheet for the output as desired. Click OK.